Hello everybody, you're here with Claudia Beauty with your host Claudia Lara. Thank you very much for tuning in. So today is going to be an episode about brushes and specifically about Sonia G brushes. So if you're interested on learning a little bit more about them and the collection and what are my favorites and why I like them so much, please keep on watching. So let's begin, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and please ring the bell in the right hand corner so you know when I upload new videos. Okay, so Sonia G, what do I know about Sonia G? Not much, because you know, if I did know or when I knew, I would have forgotten by now. It's overload of information, what can I tell you? But I do remember what is important to me, so that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys. Sonia G, I learned about it by YouTube, and I found that she sells her brushes through beautylish. Beautylish.com is a great company. They sell a lot of different brands, and they have amazing customer service. So throughout the years, it's been many years now, that's I like buying products from them, and obviously Sonia G brushes. There's other brushes that I bought from there too, and there's other brands, for example, skincare. That's how I discovered it through them. Some samples I send, and then now I buy them. So, you know, if you haven't tried out or look around, please check them out. Okay, so, and this is from customer, because I don't know them. This is not sponsor, or they didn't ask me to say their name or anything. So just from me to you, just my own use, right? So Sonia G, I started discovering them, like I said, from YouTube. And once I received her brushes, I just love them. They made a huge difference. Obviously, one of the main differences is that it's real hair. It's not synthetic. And but then I started learning a little bit about the artistry, right? So each of the brush, the handle is important, and then the color of the handle, and then how the hairs are tied together, and then the shape of the brush, and then it starts going on and on about intrinsicities that make it so much fun, and especially if you like the artistry of makeup, right? And well, I'll show you a little bit of what I have and things like that. So before I started doing YouTube, of course, I got them before, but way back, you know, when I was working and things like that, you know, I had my few brushes, and that's what I used, and that was it. And probably I had like probably three or four or two at the most. I apply everything with those. So I'm not saying they are a necessity if you wear makeup every day. There's good synthetic brushes, but as I mature and as I try different formulas and different things, I do see that it makes a big difference, not only in the application, but also in the experience of it, and also on how to, you know, put makeup the right way, or, you know, helps with the application. Obviously, that's what they're made for, etc. So anyhow, let's enter into the whole thing. I think the first time that I saw a big difference on the application, depending on the brush, was in Sephora, of course, when I used to go and you know, the lady that knows the makeup artist applied, and they had their little pouch in their belt, and they pull all these very fancier brushes. I think it was called Sephora Pro at the time. I think that's how I started saying, oh, I want that brush. You know, it makes a difference of how you apply things. And then, of course, I got to now Sonia G, which to me is top of the best. Now, I'm not going to give you a lot of facts. She has a blog that is, oh my God, you can learn everything about each individual brush. What is it for? What is it made out of? Da 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 da. My memory doesn't serve, and I'm just gonna talk from my own use. So I don't remember which is the first one that I got from her. Probably this set. Let me see. Of course, I mix them now. I just used them in another video, so no, they're mixed. But I think I started with an eye set, and the eye set is called, I have here, Beautylish. Just so at least I can say the name of it. This is the Pro Eye Set, and they are available because today, because usually they get out of you know, they're out of stock and then they come back and then they're out of stock, and some they get discontinued and some are limited edition, etc. But right now they are in stock. So I think this is what I started with. I ordered the Sonia G Pro Eye Set. It's $150 and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have here 6. Somehow I added another one that I bought individual, but I'm not gonna go through which brushes are in each of the sets. I'm just gonna say, you know, the sets that I do have and the brushes that I use the most out of them, because you can also buy them individually, so that's a great thing. But I'm trying to, just for my own sake, okay, I have 3 and then brown and brown. Okay, so I think this one doesn't go there. All right, well, oh yeah, I can tell. Okay, let's start with the handle. So the handle when you buy brushes is one thing that you are called for, right? Because depending on the color, for example, this one is red and black, and then she came up with another eye set, sky eye set, which was blue. You see the difference? And then not only the colors, see, I have another of her new ones. Then you start going not about the color but the shape, so the length, and then the thickness. You see the difference between the 3. So that's when you start getting fancy and really like, oh, I like this, I like the other, etc. She first came out with a red one and then the blue. That's why I got the red. Later on, once the blue came out, the blue sky, if I had a choice, I would have gotten the blue sky better, but I already had the red, so I didn't. But I did order just one of the blue because this one I thought it was very useful and it didn't have anything remotely on the red one. So I'll talk a little bit of the individuals. But this is the first set that I did get, and I still use them. I do use them. Back on the day, it was this and then the blue. The blue set, the brushes are a little thinner, a little smaller, and I would have preferred that because of my hoodiness and because I have little real estate in there. So I like that about the blue. That's why I would have gotten the blue, but the red works perfect. And then she came out with many more throughout the years. So I just got her newest release, which is the brown ones. And this one, I think they're called Traditions. This is the Tradition series. So if you don't have any, I will recommend today the Tradition series-wise, the newest, and it includes everything you need, and we'll go a little bit through them. And for me, is the handles that I prefer the most. I mean, we're talking about handles, right? So from all 3, the brown one is my favorite to begin with. And but of course she has other sets that I didn't get. She had one that it was like white and purple, and then she still has one that is available that looks very nice, which is Fundamental Eye Series. The Fundamental Eye Series has a wooden handle but a little lighter, and for what I can tell, it has everything you need. So that will be one that I will recommend. Or, of course, the newest, which is what I just mentioned. What did I call my memory, right? The Tradition series, okay? So probably I'll talk the most about those. But just so you know, they're different sets. Now, each of the sets, 5 or 6 or 8, some are bigger, really have everything you need for the eyes. I mean, some people say you really need 3 real brushes. The one to apply, the one for the crease, and the one to buff it all out. So usually with those 3, I remember, I'm gonna show you this other set that she came up with. These ones are shorter, and this is more as a traveling set, and they're smaller. That's why I actually like them quite a bit, because sometimes I do put one of these in my purse. I'm trying to see if it's available. I think it was called Hinoki set. Let me see. Yeah, I have the names of the brushes in the handle, but it doesn't have the name of the set. I think it's Keyaki brush set. In any case, I will list it down below, but I think this is a Keyaki set. The way to recognize it is the size. I don't know if it was Hinoki set or Hinaki like I see it here. I think this is it. Mini Keyaki brush set. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no, this is a different one. I don't see it there, but just these are the minis. And I'll mention from this set when I bought it. It came with this 5 brushes, 3 for eyes, and the other 2 for face. I don't remember if it was this 2 or 3, but it doesn't matter because I'll tell you which ones I really recommend. So from this, and I bought it for traveling, obviously, the one that I use the most and the one that I would say is a must-have, must-have, even not only on Sonia G, but on all my brushes. I can't live without this one, and this is the mini base. Now, the good news about this one is that she has a full size of this. It's also mini base. I think it's in blue. I'm not gonna look for it now, but you'll be able to hear. Mini base. It's called mini base. It's on the red handle. Okay, if you want the full size. But the reason I love this brush is the size of the head, the way it is put together, and is perfect for cream blushes. Perfect. Spreads. It's just, you can't go wrong. So either the mini base in the large or I don't think she sells this separately. So either you get the set or this one or just the other one. To me, it's a must have. And so why talk about this set? Because I don't think it's available anymore. But other than it came with this is a very fluffy, soft. You can use it for blush or you can use it for powder. Probably for me, mostly is going to be powder. Well, no, and blush too. I mean, this is just one of those. I think, because that's the other thing that we can talk about, not only the handles, but then it is this black part that holds the hairs together. I think some of it have it longer than others. Well, it seems like most of them have them the same kind of, okay. Well, my understanding is the way this tightens up the hairs right here, the way this is bent in makes a huge difference on how the brush performs. And my understanding is this is all made handmade. Artisans make them in Japan. So there's the artistry and the artisani to it. And that is part of why they're out of stock and then back on, because I guess they're getting queue and there's only so many that know what they're doing with this, because it's an art. And that's why they're so special. So this part is very important, and obviously the shape and also the type of hairs. So you have dyed and undyed. So dye hair, obviously darker, and undyed, obviously white. Of course, this is a little dirty because I use it quite a lot. So the undyed hair is very good for creams. The dye hair is more for powders. So that's, and then they have a mixture where you can use it for powders or for cream. The new set that just came out for the eyes, this one's, is a mixture. That's my understanding, a mixture of dye and undyed. And you can use them for powders and for cream. This is not just dirty, this is how they come, which I think is very pretty. All right, so we started, if we're going to mention which are my favorites, well, I just told you one of them, which is the mini base, for sure. Get that one. Here's in brown, but if you have the full size, it's red, just remember. Okay. And then, of course, the other 3 that came on the set is, you know, the usual that you can use for everything. But let's move on. I'll tell you the favorites on the eyes in a little bit, because I want to go through all the other face brushes. All I can say is if you don't own any, I will get a set, eye set. And of course you can choose, but I would go for the newest ones because makeup has also been shifting and how you apply it and things like that. So the brushes are coming out with the newest trends. And what do I mean by that? For example, nowadays we use a lot of kind of the eyeshadow as an eyeliner or pencil eyeliner and then buffing the very close to the eyelashes. So the new sets are coming out with a lot of this type of brush, which is perfect for that kind of application. So if you want to know, oh, which ones do I get out of the newest? I will get the new, the one I just got, and I'll go at the end one by one on those. I just want to get to the face right now after this overall, and then we'll go back. And so I will get the Tradition series, okay? Or the previous one, which is the lighter handle, which is Fundamental Eye Series. I think those have basically what you need. All right, so let's move a little bit to the face, and we'll try to do it a little bit quicker. So one humongous, and it's called Niji Pro. Niji Pro. So Niji Pro seems some mixtures of hairs, and this is made for, it's so soft, so soft. It's almost like mink. It's Niji, but I feel like mink. This one is made for bronzer and powder. And it is huge because it's supposed to help you to do it very quick. But the shape of it, thin, you know, is so you can really do the contouring and then the bronzing, but so soft that if you want to apply just brush powder all over, you can. So I think for those of you that love bronzing and bronzing the outside quite a bit because you want to get that golden, that bronzy look, I think this is perfection. For me, I usually don't do that. I don't do that bronzing. I do the contouring with a cool bronzing. And sometimes I'll bronze just a little bit. So this is enough. I don't pull it out as much. It's not one of my favorites because of how I wear my makeup, but it's one of my favorites if I really wanted to really bunch out everything on the outside of my face. So would this be one of my favorites? Yes, it would. I mean, I really like it. And I'll tell you why or what I'm comparing it with. So the first Sonia G face that I really fell in love with is the Sculpt 2. This is from the red. Sculpt 2 is a brush and a bronzer, also thin, but this one is thicker, it's thinner. So this one, and I did use it once I first got it so much, and I still pull it out for that reason. Then I'll show you what I pull out mostly, but this was my favorite for a while. Why? Because it really goes in there and it doesn't stain down because of the thickness, right? I just want a line here. So it was very good at that. And then bringing it down. And then over here. I mean, I could apply a little bit. Right now I have some Terra bronzer. You can tell, right? But let me see if I can pull the other Terra bronzer. For example, this other Terra, which is more golden. This is the golden dust. It's so funny because I have the big one on this one and the small one on this one, and this is the one I really use. Okay, so this one, you put it like this, and you can really bronze very detailed where you want it, right? And I usually just want it very in my hair. So this is gorgeous. Of course, it's more orangey, might not go with the rest of it, but even, I mean, I obviously hadn't done very well my makeup where I hadn't blurred enough, but even just playing with you guys is improving because of this brush. So this was, to me, a must-have. Now, if you want a little more bronzing, I'll do like all over, meaning not just here, like here. You see how I'm putting in my forehead and then kind of applying it all over, this is the one to go. You see, and it's so easy. You don't have to be there for hours because look at that, right? And this is more detail. So I was going to equalize it, but I want to show you a third one. So I think this is a must-have, and I think this is a must-have because different things, different applications. I also order, oh, and what is this, right? Did I tell you the name? This is the Sculpt 2 a must-have, and this is the Niji Pro. I order this one, which is the Sculpt 1. Let me show you the difference. Yeah, much bigger. Because this one is supposed to be very good also with cream. And back of the days when it first started coming out. But let me apply it over here because the bigness. Let's see how it compares to the Niji. It looks as if it is applying lighter, not so condensed. You see how the bronzing looks here versus here. But it did give me a tint of color to my face, right? So it would all depends of what you would like. So, and it has the detail now, the thickness. So the Niji is the thicker of them all. Let me show you the other one. But look at the size between that and this, right? So again, it depends on what you like to do. So if you want to just apply a little bit of tint of color all over, I would go for this one. If you want to really put that or use it for the powder, I will use this one. And if you just want a very detail kind of in, I would use this one. So this one is Sculpt 2. So it's funny because, let me just equalize here because if not, I'm going to start looking like a clown. So I do need this brush to do that. Somebody said that when I'm doing videos and I keep saying this one and that one and that one, you can't tell what I'm talking about. But I do that because it's hard for me to remember all the names. You know this. If you've been with me, you know this. So I'm doing the best that I can and hopefully is enough. Okay, so I show you those three. I'm going to show you a fourth one, which I don't know if it's available or not. This one is one of the short handles. Remember the kind of traveling size? So this is short. And I love, you see, shorter. Love, love, love this one. I think she came up with this first. And because it was so good, this is called Niji. Because I think this one was so well liked. That's when she came out with Niji Pro. So it seems to me that it's almost the same. Of course, this seems to have different hair color, probably so you can also use it for powder because this is softer than this. Well, they're both soft. Ooh, I'll have to read exactly the difference on the hair. It's obviously a different type of hair because I see a different color. This is a little bit softer, like mink. This is soft. I mean, don't get me wrong. But what is the other animal? Not mink. The other, maybe like a squirrel. You know, they're also soft, but a little thicker. This is a little thinner, but slightly, very slightly. So she first came with this. It was a set. It was this one, and it came out this two. It was this two. Which, if this is still available, I'll look. This duo. I don't think it is. I will get this. I would definitely get this. And I'll tell you why. But if not, she sells this individually and this individually. And I know because this one, which is kind of a bluffer, is called Buffer. She has it here, and it's called Smooth Buffer. So this one is a little smaller, but they do the same thing. And so again, if this is available, get this. If not, I would still get the two individual, even though they look a little different. the buffer, and the Niji because of what I just explained. But let me just show you why I recommend them so much. So this buffer, you use it for everything at the end. So if you put too much blush, if you want to buff up your makeup because it's starting to look a little used up or, you know, sad, you can just do this. If you can just do a little bit of powder before a Zoom meeting, if you just want to, yeah, dry up your sweat with a little powder. So this is a must-have, individual or dual. And then this one, like I explained, you can really use this. You can really use this all over. But from the three, I don't know why. Maybe it's the hair. From these two, I might prefer this one a little bit more. Maybe because it's short. Maybe, I don't know. I pull this all the time. But again, if not, use the Niji Pro. And I'll show you, there are certain blushes, let me see if I find one here, that are darker, that are too dark for me, or might be too dark for me. One. So this is the Splendid Rose from Dior. It came out this Christmas. So this blush, if I put it here, it might be too much because it's a little more darker. And these are forgiven. They're a little light. It's not like those blushes that you put it here. So I wouldn't, if that was the case, I would use a different brush. This is another brush that Sonia G has. I think this was limited edition. But I would use another fluffier blush if that was the case. But this blush in particular is kind of forgiven, but it is too dark for me. So what I do is I pull this, and then I just kind of, and use this as a bronzer towards the back. And so this brush for me is a must for that because it just, that really makes such a difference. And could you apply it with a different brush? Perhaps, but it's not the same. If I use a blush brush like this one to do what I just did, it does not look the same. Why not? I don't know if this just makes it too distinct so you can see it. This one buffers it up. So it's almost like I want you see how this part, I want a little bit showing here, but not apply there. But the fact that I do this part kind of touches. And so it leaves this area with some blush, so when you're in front of me you can see the color, but it's not the blush. Does that make sense? So that's why the different kind of blushes depending on the formulas. So this is a must-have, and the buffer must-have. Okay, I don't know what else I can tell you. Those have to be. Now there's another one that I do a review on it and I loved it. And I know other people like it, and I've seen them pull it out in videos. I don't pull it out as much as I thought I did. So what I'm trying to tell you is, it's a love favorite brush, but I haven't pulled it out as much, and it is for bronzer. And I'm talking about the sheer buffer. Now this sheer buffer will work perfect for cream bronzing or cream blush or cream anything, right? But bronzing. So if you're a big fan of like Chanel bronzing, the cream bronzing, or any other, there's the Nessa Williams, or if you're a fan of those type of cream bronzer, I think this will be a must. The way this works, in difference on the of the buffer, you can see it has hairs in and out. So that allows kind of the shorter hairs to work like the mini base that I told you I like, where it really is harder, the hair, so it really blends the cream. But then it has the longer hairs where it kind of buffers it at the same time. So this for cream application is just perfection. The reason I don't pull it out as much is because I use my mini base, which is for me a must-have for most blushes, cream blushes. And I don't use that much of cream bronzers. If I did, I'd use it more for a contour. So then I use something similar to this or my foundation brush. So I haven't been needing the top part. But I'm telling you, if you do use, I'm trying to see if I can pull out something. Let's say here, I just did a review on this Patrick Ta. Not too much rose. Let me put a little bit of cream here because I was gonna pull out one of my favorite Tom Ford's cream bronzers, but I would apply it the other way I told you. But okay, let's apply a little bit of this. So now I'm using all the bronzing. I'm gonna end up super contour. But so let's apply a little bit of that. Again, for the amount that I use, I think I would prefer, like I say, but look, you could see, you can definitely see, you immediately applied it there. Let's see a little bit of the blush. I don't want to look like a total clown after this, but so I just reviewed this. This is the cream, this is the powder. So if I use just a little bit of the cream, and this is very bold, so I have to, there you go. Oh, gorgeous. This is another must-have for those kind of applications. So it all depends on what kind of makeup you usually wear, what is your preference. But as you know, or as you can see, I own all of them because I use them, all of them, depending on my mood, the product, what I want, blah, 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 blah. All right. We're almost done. We're almost done. Well, I have to go back to the eyes, but I thought the face brushes was important because obviously there are differences. There is one set that I reviewed it back when it came out. It was a limited edition and I loved it and I still love them, but I don't think you can get it, which is the Hinoki set. It was this too. I don't know. I don't know what is it about this. They're so special in the sense of this is dense but fluffy and this is very airy. And so I can't find, maybe she has in her collection that I'm not aware of, something similar than this. If you know about it, please write it down below. Because I own this, I haven't looked if there's another one, but I know these ones are not available anymore. The closest that can get to this without being it, there's another Refer 24, this one. So I kind of pull it for the same thing, but this one is a lot fluffier. This is a lot denser. I still pull them for the same thing, which is kind of like this. And so very, very similar. They got stained now from my blush. So Refer 24, but I don't know, maybe Sonia G has something similar to this in her collection. I haven't gotten as many face sets like I did on the eye sets, but I love this ones, and so that's that. All right, two others for face, just because I like them quite a bit. Three. Okay. So the other three face brushes that I do own and I do pull out quite often, and again, you can buy the set. She has face sets, but I bought this individually. Will be the Designer Pro, the Cheek Pro, and the Mini Cheek. Now, let me show you. So two are from the red collection. What did we say it was called? The blue we know is the sky blue. Okay, now my computer died, so forget about that. Okay, here. It was the Pro Eye set, so the red handles on the face will be I don't know if the face set fusion. Oh, Pro face set. I don't know if all three will be in there, but it is the red handle. All right. Well, let me tell you what I like about them. So you see. So this one, which is the Cheek Pro, so it is the Cheek Pro. I use it a lot for blush, quite a bit. It is the perfect size. It blends well, it applies well. And again, like I show you, I will apply the blush and perhaps the buffer if you want to. I use this, and you can see my last review on the Tom Ford, the last 2 reviews on the Tom Ford. I pull out this for brush, and then I pull out this for highlight. And it works for both. Why the highlight? If it's a very, I'm trying to apply it for you. If it's a very shimmery highlight, I wouldn't use this brush. But the Tom Ford is so forgiving and nice and blurring. I'll apply here. That this is a perfect brush for it. But if it was a little more shine or sparkle, I would use a fluffier like this, or one of the ones I just showed you, which is the Mini Cheek. So Mini Cheek, this one. It is fluffier, it is more lighter, so the application, you can use it for both because it has enough density, but it's more when you want to be more careful, more fluffy. I think this one, Mini Cheek, is perfect for that. So yeah, I recommend that one, the Cheek Pro. And then the other one, which is the Signer Pro, has a pointy. So this pointy thing, again, you can use it for powder after concealer. You can use it for contour if you really wanted to, although I have my other preferences. You can use it for highlight. And you can use it for blush as well. So this is kind of like all over, but it does have that pointy. So when I'm applying blush, I do prefer more flatter. It's not flat, it's a little curvy, but rounder. So I do prefer this one. But this, I think, is, again, different things. If you want to clear out, if like some of the eyeshadow fell, or you just want to apply a little bit of powder here to clean it out, the pointy part is so useful, I find. So if you don't know what to do with the face, I would get this 3, and of course what I just went through with the bronzers. I think the bronzer brushes are the most important for what I explained, depending on, because that's what can make your look very dirty or cleaner or fuller, or so I think those brushes I show you are the most important, including the buffer at the end. These ones, I deal with this 3. Of course, I own other brands, so I keep pulling different ones. But these 3 are, I think, you can use and do everything with them. All right. So back to the eyes really quickly. What is my favorite? Let's see. And I have done quite a bit of some videos recently, like a couple of weeks or days, where I've been using the new Tradition set from Sonia G. So I really invite you, if you want to see how I apply makeup with them, to look out. I'll link it down below, the Tradition set. This Tradition set, let me just talk about 2 things of that. So the Tradition set, I think, comes with 6 brushes. Where is it here? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 6. I only got 5 of them. Why did I just got 5 of them? Because I bought them individually. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got them individually, and because I own many others, so I'm just missing 1. I might order that one because I want the full set. There's my dog. He wants to go to the park. It's that time. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. I think there's a delivery too. Yeah, he's going crazy. Whoa, I hope you don't hear them that strong. If not, I'm going to have to edit this video, and I don't want to. I just want to upload it how it is. So I was saying, I only got 5 of this. I will eventually get the 6th one, I know. Maybe OCD, right? But not only that, it's useful. but I did have some similars. So I don't think we're gonna be able to continue. See, now my other dog, and hopefully the one here is not gonna begin. Oh, please don't, please don't. I think he will. So, okay, stop. So what I was gonna say is, I didn't order the the sixth one, but probably I will. So let me just go through the 5 that I did have. And I didn't order it because on top of that, I ordered the extra. This is, I think, limited edition. This came in a box. This is a Tradition series. So this is Traditions, and this is Tradition series. Very similar handles. This one's the 4 Tradition Select. She was deviating to include it on the set or not, and she ended up not. And so that's why she sold this as a select and an addition, because she found that this 6, which I only have 5, were a complete set for the eyes. Now, if you want the extras, you can get them, which I have been enjoying them quite a bit. There's previous videos where I explain a little bit of the difference, because some of them are the same shape, just different hairs. But just to complete between this set, you have this one, which I love. I said at the beginning, I think it's a must-have. Is so big enough that you apply all over so easy. The mobile eye, so easy. This one, you know, the word is like a dream. It is like a dream because it's soft, it's full, it really applies nicely. So this is the T1, I think. No, T6. So T6, I think, is a must-have. Then you have the T5, which Sonia G recommends if you want any of the series of the set, that this is the one you should get. I agree in the sense that this is the one I pull out the most, because it's really, you can really direct where you want the color, you can buff, you can apply. It's a little bit on the flat and yet fluffy enough, because it's not flat, but it performs as if it was flat. So this T5, yes, it is the most useful. However, I still love the T6. But this too, I think, very different than most that I had in my collection, and most that I think they're out there. So, I mean, love this too. Then you have the T4, which is, I think, the one I'm missing. The T4 will look a little bit flat on the top. Let me show you. This is a Wayne Goss one that I think resembles quite a bit what the T4 is of her. And this is one of the reasons, because I have several of this, that I didn't get that one. But just so you know, these are perfect for buffing, crease here, and also here. I mean, very useful, but that's the other one. And then, so T6, T5, T4, and then you have the T3, here. T3 is a pointy cylinder, so this one also great for very direction. Put an eyeliner, but buffed, so perfection. And then the T2, which is kind of, you can use it for applying, but you can also use for the buffing of the eyeliner or the shade close to your eyelashes. But you can use it also for applying. And then, of course, the T1, which is the really buffer for the shade as an eyeliner. So, just kind of an applicator. So if you buy this set, you really have what you need. This can be used for cream and powder. And if you want the select, which is this 4, these are only for powder. So these are softer. And This one, for example, is the same, exactly the same brush, but is a little softer within losing the density. So the Select, to me, I find it softer for my eyes, and I use it for powder only. But if you were between one or the other, I would still get this because you can use it with creams and with powders. And remember, creams could be kind of the eyeliner. So you want to apply that. This is just if you want the extras, which I did. And it has this one, which is very close to the one I don't have, but a little pointier. So these ones are great for buffing and the crease. A smaller one, even more precise, for also, you know, there's now the makeup artist, I think Hugo Voss. There's a very famous, he's doing a lot of the Hollywood artists, actors and actresses, and he just does an amazing job. Especially some of them have hooded eyes, and I'm like, oh, I wish he would do my makeup. But I believe his trick is that he does different colors within a very small amount of area and elongates, and it does perfection because it looks very subtle and little, and yet you can see that there's work there. And I think that's where this comes very handy, because he will use very precision in a small amount of real estate from your eye, especially hooded, and then you pile on top a little bigger. So you start small and then a little bigger and then a little bigger. This is more for application. This is a little flatter. You can use a little bit in a corner. So I love the Select, the extras, the Select. And this ones I bought all 4 because it came in this beautiful box. Very basic bamboo kind of box, but I wanted the box. If you buy the set, it comes with a box. If you buy them individually, you don't get the box. And I was going to get all 4 anyways. And last but not least, I just wanted to show you, she had at some point a limited edition kind of a shrink, but to clean your brushes there, but it has a design. This is kind of her logo. I love it. It did shrink. It was much bigger. I wash it and I put it in the dryer, and it was not a good idea, but I love it. And the reason it's all folded, this is what I have on my desk to put my mirror that I usually use with you guys. So I put this on top. That's how I protect my mirror. So I love that. And she also has traveling cases and a beautiful wooden box with a design that you can put all your brushes in. I don't own those. They are expensive, but they're just beautiful. So check those out as well, especially also the traveling cases. And I think that's it. I hope this was useful. I hope you got something out of it. If I missed some, or if you have other favorites, because she has many, I don't owe all of them. So if there's other brushes that you really like, that you really recommend, please comment them down below, and let me know if this was useful, so I can do another brand's kind of brushes. And thank you very much for watching. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and ring the bell in the right hand corner so you know when I upload new videos. And I apologize for my dogs barking because I'm not going to edit that out. That's just part of waking up. I will take them to the park now. So I will see you next time. Bye.